Yes, sir. Hello, everybody. I am Marlena. They call me the Marlena Effect. And I am joined with Glowing. And we are about to tell you about the Mandela Effect 101 for the people that don't know what it's about.
Uh,
Glow, when was the first time you discovered the Mandela Effect?
um, well, I was on a political blog and someone was saying something was the Mandela Effect, and I thought I knew everything about politics, so I had to look up the term, and it didn't have anything really to do with politics. So here I went on down the rabbit hole. So that's how I found out about it. And then the one that really got me was the Berenstein Bears because those were my books when I was a little kid, and it was always like, was it Berenstein or Berenstein? No one debated Berenstain. There was no AIN, and it was like one of those books we had like I think like almost every other weekend we'd have to go and get one or something if a new one came out we'd need it, and those are definitely like my first reader books, and so that one really got me. But of course, there's a lot more, you know, to it than just little, like those are little things compared to some of the other ones that I've now discovered. Um,
That is a good
sorry,
one.
drive down.
That's a really good one. I think that woke up a lot of people because, they did remember, they do remember it being the way that we all remember. You know what I mean?
Yep.
They remember because there's so little, and then you remember because you have all those books and books and books about it, you know. And we can't. It can't be a mass memory. How they're saying it's a mass memory. There's no way. Thousands and thousands, even in the millions of people, can be wrong about all these different things that are going on. We'll run some really good ones down. How about that? Because
Right.
the Berenstein Bears, like I said, that was a big thing on YouTube. I mean, on Facebook, I remember they were going nuts. They were like, it was a big, somebody posted it,
Yeah.
and then that was it, you know, and it went on
Oh
and
yeah.
on. And I remember, yeah, it was on Twitter. It was on, everyone was like, "What do you remember?" But nobody made it into a the Mandela Effect words because at that time Fiona Broom hasn't had that dinner yet. So she's the one that coined it, right? At that
Right.
back when she had that supper with her friends.
Yeah. That's when they were sitting around the table figuring out who remembered Nelson Mandela passing away back in prison. But of course, in this reality, he got out of prison and became a president of South Africa. So, um, but a lot of people, even the president George Bush, has stated that he had died before he had died. So it was it's gotten a few people. I'm sorry if I have a lot of noise because I am driving down the road. I am looking at the road, not the Google machine.
That's good. See, I remember
Yeah.
back in 1995. I remember when he was in jail in Africa, and he had died in jail. He got sick and he died in jail, and it was a big deal because I was going to university at the time, and two of the ladies were from Africa, and I remember them crying, and they were making such a big deal out of it, that he died and all this stuff, right? And then we watched the funeral because of the girls. Everybody watched it with them, and it was sad. And we watched his son was making the eulogy, and they had this big, like, I don't know what you call it, the parade or whatever, going down the road. Concession, is that what it is?
Yeah.
Is that what it's called? And
Funeral
we
or
watched
something.
it. Yeah, yeah, yeah. procession. That's what it is, the funeral procession. And I watched it. They were going down the road, and everybody was freaking out. And then, to my surprise, many years later, I hear that he got out of jail, ran the country as president of Africa. That didn't happen for me. So, just that alone is like there's some big fuckery going on.
Mhm.
So when you question one thing, you question everything. We have all these personal stuff. You know, uh, brand names changing, right?
Yep.
What's the brand names that catches your eye, Glow?
Gosh, I'm not so good at brand names. I'm not as good at those ones. I know, like with the like one of the things that happened to me while it was changing, and I didn't even really know what was happening because it was before the Mandela Effect, and I wasn't really sure what the heck was going on other than I think I was losing my mind. Um, was that like during this time, Mickey Mouse and Disney characters, they seem to like to change a lot. And so Mickey Mouse kind of went from having no tail to having a tail, and he I had bought at the Disney store, like a Disney store outlet, a little Mickey Mouse for this little boy, and because he loved Disney type of stuff or whatever, and so I bought him the little Mickey Mouse item or whatever for as his like first Disney character type thing, first little doll, first everything, whatever. And a few months later, I was at the store again with a friend of mine or whatever, and I'm looking at the Mickey Mouses, and I'm like, oh my god, they all have tails. I'm like, oh, I got the lemon. I think I should bring this other one back and get him the right one because I want his first animal to be the right animal. And so when I went home, I'm like examining this, his little Mickey Mouse doll, and I noticed there's like a little hole in the shorts. And I was like, well, maybe there's supposed to be a tail that came through it. And I like put my finger through it, trying to see if there was like the tail had gotten stuck up inside or something like that. And I'm not finding it or anything. I was like, well, maybe I'll just have to bring it back and tell him what happened. And then I don't know, a couple more weeks go on because I'm kind of forgetful about these things. But a couple more weeks go on, he gets packed up. He goes to his aunt's house and he brings his little stuffed toy with him. And when he came back, there was a tail. And so I just figured, my sister-in-law must have found it and pulled it out right. But I had to actually put my finger in there and looked really hard for this thing. So I just thought I was losing my mind. But all in this Mandela thing that's been happening, so the doll actually caught up with reality and its times, and there was like three different occasions that I was aware of it. I just didn't know what to call it other than losing my mind, and this was before even knowing what the term was. So there's like little things like that you're like, was that there before? Was that store there before? Like there was a Dunkin' Donuts just the other day that popped up. And I'm like, I know it wasn't there, and I know it wasn't being built. It just appeared.
Yeah, definitely. And when you're talking about Mickey Mouse, a lot of the Disney stuff had changed. I used to do murals, so I know, and I love drawing, and I always drew Mickey Mouse, and he definitely had suspenders, and because they were attached to his little buttons. And now there's the buttons, but no suspenders. I've also noticed that when I used to draw Donald Duck, he didn't have a big bow. Um, he had a knot. You know how the little sailors have the little knot. You know, he had that. Now he has this big yellow bow he never had before.
Yeah, the Disney characters definitely go through some transitions.
Definitely.
And the weird thing was I was like, well, let me check Minnie Mouse out because I knew it was like a new phenomenon. And I remember watching the Disney show because the little boy, like I said, he likes to watch it. And so I remember watching the cartoon, and I was like, this is kind of how Mickey Mouse didn't probably have a tail because Minnie and Mickey always look alike, right? And Minnie wasn't drawn with a tail. 2 weeks later, Minnie's got a tail. I mean, it's that quick. It's like you notice it and it changes. It's very strange like that sometimes. Almost
Yeah,
like
flip
when we
flop.
notice that the body changes and that they'll just change like that, you know? Kind of strange.
Definitely. So while we're on the Disney stuff, I watch all kinds of Disney movies, as do you. You have your children, you watch it. With me, also with all my children, plus all my littles. What was amazing to me was that they took out Tinkerbell from the very beginning of the show. Every movie, she'd come out with her little wand and do the little magical thing, right? Remember, with her little
Mhm. Yep. Yep.
wand. Now it's not there anymore at all. And I've looked through a lot of their movies because I still have them, right? And she's not in any of them. But what I've noticed, I watched Dancing with the Stars not too long ago, and they had Disney Night. And on Disney Night, they had her do that.
They still have her doing it. Yep. I was gonna
Yes.
say they still have her doing that.
Yeah. So that's a nice residual. And I like talking about the cartoons because those are brought up with everybody, regardless of what culture you are. Everybody knows cartoons, pretty much. So there's so many with the cartoons. What else is there? We have. I want to just go over cartoons first because this will be part one, and we'll do the other part later on tonight.
Yeah.
Is because I
Yes.
had labeled this flat Earth. This isn't flat Earth. This is about the
Right. We're
Mandela
doing some
effect.
Mandelas because that's how we came together. That's how we met.
That's
You
right.
and I, at least. You know what I'm saying? Like you and I met this way,
Yes, right.
and so that's kind of what brought us together. And then it's like it goes hand in hand. It's all little pieces of the puzzle, and that's why like when everybody's talking about the flat Earth thing, it's like I kind of feel as there's more to it than just that. You know,
Definitely.
there's just it's just one little piece of the puzzle to get it all together and come up with some kind of like operating theory or something. I don't know. You know,
Yeah. Isn't
to
that
do things
something?
with. Yeah.
So it goes both ways. Some people, like with you and a few other people that go into our Discord chat, that'll be in our description if anybody wanted to come see us. We're there all the
Right.
time. But we came together that way. And a lot of people that woke up, and I say woke up because it's showing you that there's more than what we've been shown and told, right? So a lot of people never heard of the flat Earth until they woke up through the Mandela effect, and then vice versa. I met a lot of flat Earth people that just discovered that the Earth is flat because it all
Mhm.
logically it is flat, right? That's another debate, but that's how they ended up hearing about the Mandela effect. So it went both ways.
Right. Yeah, it kind of goes hand in hand with one another. You and some people will discredit the other one, like, but to me, it's that
I
they
know
do go together. To me,
it does, and how
they
could
kind of
you
go
your
hand in
mind
hand
be
too.
open to one thing and not the other? You
Exactly.
know. So back to cartoons. The words, right? Let's go about the words. Looney Tunes were always spelled tunes, Toons, because it was a cartoon, right? So now it's tunes as in a song tune, Tunes, which doesn't make sense to me. Does it make sense to you, Glow? I mean, do they
Well,
sing it at all?
they said back in the day the tunes part was. I mean, they have explanations for all these things. They say the tunes thing was TUENS because they were singing tunes at each other or something weird. I don't know. They come up with all these weird explanations when people start questioning it. Like if you look these things up, oh, why is everybody questioning this? This is the this is the answer to this. It's like what?
Yeah,
Where did you
exactly.
come up with
But
that?
exactly right. But when you do research like we have, there is no time where they changed it. They didn't change it to tunes
No, no, you won't
or to
find it.
tunes. You
Or
know
if
what I
you
mean?
want to find that, you have to like go in a Wayback Machine or something, you know.
Right. But if you look at any residuals of say people drawing stuff and writing down that, they write it the way it was.
Right.
They seriously do. But this was just a little taste of our Mandela experiences. I think
Right.
that we should just close this one for now
Yeah.
and
It's still
then
kind
do
of
a
a test
big
run
show
in this.
tonight.
I'm picking
Yeah.
out here,
So
bye.
exactly, you're outside. I'm babysitting. It's like we're
Yeah,
doing life,
we're
right?
doing a little test run here. See how it goes
Yeah.
with us. It
I
worked,
think it went.
yay!
Yeah, it went pretty good. And thank you for coming on panel with me because it's nice.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll
So
get some more people also during the evening as well.
right. Not only
You're
that, I'll have
prayer.
some. Exactly. Not only that is I'll have some stuff set up to show screenshots of what we're talking about because I think once somebody sees a visual, then they'll understand it more. You know.
Right.
All right.
Exactly.
Well, thank you very much.
All right.
You can get a hold of any of us. We're on Discord. We have it. It's going to be in the description. And thank you all for watching our short little Mandela show.
Bye.